how strong are the biases that we have, and how willing are we to let go of things from the world, things we've received through, worldly education or through traditions of our culture or our parents. Do we really have an open heart and an open mind for truths?
Yeah.
Be it from the gospel, from the church, or from any other source. But how open, how receptive are we really of truth? And I think it's an interesting thought experience, interesting thing to ponder. Like how hard would it be to give up certain things that we accept as truth that maybe are not?
Yeah. Well, we see that individually with, and particularly with investigators and people who go through this process of gaining a testimony, understanding enough to get baptized. And there's always this aspect to them, at least in some respects, that they have to get rid of old ways of thinking, old habits, things that they assumed were true or were acceptable. Now they've got to let go of those things. And that allows that transformation to take place. Well, Isaiah clearly is illustrating in his words that this fall of Babylon is going to be significant. We'll talk about that here, but I don't think that's a figurative message he's delivering. I think what he's saying is so much of these lies upon lies, deceits upon deceits, so much little bit of truth mingled with so much fallacy, that the world, Babylon, has been built upon. At a certain point, Christ will say, enough, and all of that will come crumbling down because the weight of it can't hold its own weight anymore. And it will be so significant that we might realize how much we were impacted, affected, and our perspective was tied to that way of thinking as well.
Yeah.
But again, what does Isaiah do? He always points to the Savior. Always. That's the hope. That's the focus. That's the foundation. And if that is where our life is centered on, for me, I could care less. If the world is a globe, if it's flat, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, that doesn't change where my future is and where my redemption is. And that's the Savior. That has nothing to do with it. And that's the way we've got to get, where these other things that the world offers, sure, be fascinated by them, study them, do whatever you want with them. They don't matter. They're not eternal. It doesn't matter if the world is globe or is flat. It doesn't matter any of these things. And we use that example because it's a hot topic today and it's funny to talk about, But the truth is it doesn't matter, because as Isaiah is teaching us, the Savior is all that matters.
I hope the world is flat.
So that we can get this whole fall of Babylon thing going and just crumble everything. All our institutions need to come falling down and get the Savior here sooner rather than later.
That would do it.
That would certainly do it.
Okay. So first Isaiah describes the world a little bit. A land full of silver and gold, where there's no end of the treasures. It's also a land full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, trust in the arm of flesh.
Yeah.
The mean man boweth not down. The great man humbleth himself not. And the note I put on this slide was, sound familiar?
Yeah. I mean,
how is that not the world we live in?
There are some verses in Isaiah, and when he speaks, that they're not figurative. Like, this is so direct and so easy to understand. Like, it's so obvious today. And we think that today is so much work. Like, no, this is the case in every generation. Like, it's always obvious that this is the way people are. This is human nature and how Babylon operates.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.